next to each other on Ezra's couch, the book open on his lap. What he remarked on, what he found extraordinary, was the way an artist might latch on to an idiom early in a career, and his or her whole output for decades would become variations on an initial theme. But the work never got dull. The opposite. It only grew subtler, more sublime. There was the sculptor with his steel plates, the composer with his arpeggios, the author with her driving declarative refrains. How did they know at such an early age that they were onto something? Where did that self-confidence come from? It's so alien to me and you, Ezra said. To me and you? The detective asked. I can understand him speaking for himself, but why did he include you? Detective Martinez had an uncanny way of not blinking until her question was answered. She had zeroed in on my discomfort right away. When Ezra and I were younger, I told her, he wanted to be a novelist and I was going to be an artist. Off and on, he was still working on something, but I stopped painting after college. You gave up on it. I was never very good at it. I'd have a picture of something in my mind, but then anything I made fell far short of that image. But painting led me to art history, which led to architectural history, and when I imagined becoming an architect, I became so much happier. But Ezra thought you'd left something behind, Detective Martinez said. Maybe he thought that you thought he should likewise give up his writing, too. No, I always encouraged him. Earn a real living. You're putting words in my mouth, I said. Ezra used to say there were two kinds of people. Those who looked completely different when they had wet hair, and those who looked exactly the same when their hair was wet or dry. For some reason he never explained, he didn't trust the people whose hair looked the same wet or dry. The detective likely fell in that category. It's my job to come up with a line and follow that line, she said. I don't always get it right. Then I try to find a better line. It's an imperfect method, I admit. I accepted her apology, if that's what it was, with a nod. So, you stayed for dinner and were looking at this art book, and he suggested that you and he were alike in your inability to realize your dreams, even if that wasn't an accurate representation of the situation for you. I could have pointed out that for every artist who found his voice early on, there was the genius who created work later in life. Plus, Ezra and I were not that old. Maybe no longer young, but only 40. He had time, but I didn't say these things that night. And that was that, Detective Martinez said. Nothing else happened? I didn't answer. Ms. Crane? We talked some more, but yes, that was it, I said. Detective Martinez was staring at me again without blinking. She knew I was lying. I glanced around her office, void of personal effects. No photos, no mementos. I keep thinking about a documentary we saw, I said. It was about a man who disappeared and was found a month later at a hospital not too far from home, but without any ID. He had amnesia. No one would ever figure out what triggered it. The only thing he had with him was a book with a phone number scribbled on the inside cover which belonged to an ex-girlfriend. She was traveling and unreachable. When she finally came home, she was able to identify the man. The man had retrained the ability to do physical things, like ride a bike or surf or make love, even speak French. But he remembered no people or places or experiences. The first time he saw snow after his amnesia, he was both awestruck like a child might be and analytic like an adult, trying to figure out what it consisted of. Amnesia is pretty rare. Oh, I wasn't suggesting... Mr. Voight liked this film. He saw it several times when it came out. The detective wrote this down, although I didn't know how it would be useful. Then she set down her pen and laced her fingers. She said, Mr. Voight has been gone only 1 month, but... Only 1 month? But you need to consider the possibility that he doesn't want to be found. You're saying you don't think we'll find him? I asked. No.